I'm sure he's not a solicitor. Just let him fight out in court. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But everyone's begging for it. Everyone wants us in Division 2. I take it as a compliment because their asses are going and they're scared. So they want Man City out of the way. Listen, if I didn't support Man City, I'd be scared. I'd be looking at Man City thinking, wow, what a club that is. You know, let's get them in Division 2 out of the way because my own club's shit. The toilets were leaking again at Old Trafford, Terry, at weekend. There was piss running down the stairs again. So you're talking about the Qatari takeovers. We got to sort the bogs out, innit? Get some decent plumbers in.
Oh, mate, I saw that, and I saw someone tweet going, well, that's not on the Glazers, it's on the general manager or something. I'm like, yeah, but who employs a general manager, you turd?
The roof's been leaking for 5 years. It have to wear me hood up in the away end because I just get drips pissing down my back. So
it's absolutely filth, that stadium. Have you seen the pictures from the railway track behind it?
Horrible.
It's fallen apart.
You know, but the fans, listen, the fans only want the signings, Terry. They only want the big signings, Ronaldo, Viva Ronaldo, get the shirts sold and all that. But it doesn't matter about the ground falling apart because they're sat in the bedroom, innit? Goldbridge and the boys. Goldbridge and the boys talking fucking nonsense again in his gaff. And he's never been to the ground in his life.
What's he said this time?
Oh, he's waffling about City and that they only have a Champions League light show because there's no fans there and all that. Now, listen, I know 4 or 5-year-old kids that have been to more games than him. So their opinion is more valid than his. So the guy's a joke. The guy's a joke. He talks absolute shit. I don't even know who listens to him. I reckon he's got fake fans. I reckon he's got thousands of burner accounts that go on his and listen to him because no man with any brain or anyone with any footballing sense would listen to a guy who supports Nottingham Forest, who comes from Birmingham or lives in Birmingham, who's never been to Old Trafford, and he was talking about 90s raves. The guy's never been to a 90s rave in his life. You know what I mean? He's an ex-copper, so he's probably bullied at school, innit? So Goldbridge, whatever that guy says, take it with a pinch of salt because he's an absolute weapon.
Oh, listen. I've seen a lot of his stuff about City, and I definitely get why it would frustrate people. But yeah, he's
Don't frustrate me because it's like somebody who never goes to the game talking to you about the game. You'd be like, all right, mate, fair enough, you're a fan, but, you know, don't be talking to me. I'm all over the country, mate, up and down. I've seen everything, possibly seen stadiums all around the world. I've done my time as a football fan. Don't be talking shit to me. So I don't know who he's trying to talk to. I don't know anyone that takes him serious. You know what I mean? Maybe he's jealous of the light show, innit? Because, you know, he's never seen it. You know what I mean? He's never been out of his bedroom. So, you know, if anyone wants to send him some LED lights and a little button and he can do his own light show on Champions League nights, Europa League nights when he's watching United, he can have his own little Goldbridge light show in his bedroom, you know what I mean?
Lightbridge show. Lightbridge.
Yeah,
Lightbridge.
I'm always at the match, mate, so I don't see what he says. So people just send me clips. I don't even look at them, but I'm always at the game. I'm there hardcore, home and away, travelling and that. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
Someone here says Terry doesn't go to games. I did go to games, but I gave up my season tickets in protest because I won't give the Glazers any of my money. So that's it. And once they're gone, I'll be reapplying for season tickets again. I won't go to every game because I've got a job to do here, but I'll definitely be getting back. I've got to avoid a few people that don't like me, but you know, it is what it is. I won't bottle it.
That makes me laugh. In the chat said Big Steve's triggered. I've just told you what I think of a dickhead. So I'm not triggered. I'm telling you my opinion of what I think of someone who I think's a knob. So what am I supposed to do? Not say my opinion because I'm triggered. It's not triggered. Everything I'm saying now, I would say to his face, but he wouldn't have me anywhere near his show because he's not got the bottle or the balls to. He doesn't ever go up against any Man City supporters because he's got no bottle. So the guy sat in his bedroom making videos, and all the idiots in the chat that are saying Steve's rattled, they're the ones watching him, and he's making dough off it. You know what I mean? I might pretend I'm a United fan and put a wig on and a tash and call myself Goldfish and start talking about United in the bedroom. And all these idiots will start, you know, subscribing to me and I make shitloads of dough. So it is what it is, man. They need to look in the mirror and think, hold on a minute. Should I really be watching this guy? He's having us all at it here.
I'll be honest with you. Like I watch Goldbridge's stuff. He makes me laugh. But that's again. This is not. People will take this as I'm discrediting him. I'm not. I call him like the Alan Partridge of football YouTube because Mark Goldbridge isn't a real person. He is because I've seen Mark Goldbridge when he's not Brett. His name's Brett D'Souza, I think is his name. I've seen him when he's on like True Geordie show and he's just talking. He honestly stand up, nice guy. Met him once. Nice, honestly, like a decent bloke. Mark Goldbridge, you watch on camera, is Alan Partridge. Is most definitely a character, and I don't mean that in a diss. I mean it in a respectful way because he's kind of built someone up who. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? That's how I view it anyway. Having met him and then seeing what he's like on and off camera, there's definitely a slight alter ego. He does it and he has a lot of fun. So I do get why a lot of people enjoy watching him and everything else. But what I would love to see Mark do, like what you've said, is do more kind of head-on-head debates with people. I'd love to see him do that.
Terry, how can he do that? Because he's lacking in ball knowledge. The other day, he was sat behind his chair when United were getting beat 7-0. Just a little head appeared behind the chair. And I'm like, hold on a minute. It's all banter, innit? He's just, I don't know. Listen, he's not my cup of tea. He's probably got his audience. He's making money out of it. Fair play. People want to give that guy money, then fair play. But, he's just talking shit about Man City. He's got no clue about Man City. He's not a Manchester United supporter. He's not from Manchester. He's not been born around here. He hasn't had the banter in the pub with the boys. He doesn't go to the derby day. He don't go to the match. So what is he about? How can he talk about Man City? He's watching it on the telly like everybody else. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, man.
I hear you. I do hear where you're coming from. And like I say, for me, I take it for what it is. Mark Goldbridge, I watch for, and I do watch some of his stuff. I watch it for comedic value. And not that I'm not saying I'm calling him a clown. I'm not saying that he, in a horrible way. I find watching him funny as opposed to I would watch who would I watch? Like, I don't watch it for insight generally. I watch it because he makes me laugh and I find it entertaining. Does that make sense? And I think that's what Goldbridge's niche is. And I don't know whether that's how he started, but he certainly found it, and that's what he kind of does. And I think part of that, and City seems to be the club that he definitely kind of targets as the one I'm going to kind of go for. Oil money, no fans. I'm assuming they're the things that he says. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah, I get that. But there we go. Someone here said Big Steve over Goldfish or Steve Goldfish. Steve Goldfish. Yeah, that's a good name. That's a good name. That's a good name. Anthony here says Steve got these pricks rattled. Is what Anthony says there. Ross Kemp thing. Ross Kemp's a good-looking man. I wouldn't be too offended to be called Ross Kemp.
I've been called a few names, Phil Mitchell, Ross Kemp. People call me bald. I'm sure there's a new law now. I think bald, it's like there's a law against it. It's like very, harmful to bald people.
Like fat shaming, but for bald people.
Yeah, for bald people. So I like to call it eggshell blonde, but, it is what it is.
Eggshell blonde. I like that. D here says, Big Steve, so jealous. You're jealous of Goldbridge.
Yeah, I must be jealous and not going to the match. You know what I mean? I go watch my team every week, home and away. Just been to Barcelona, go abroad, every Champions League game. And he sits in his bedroom and hides behind his chair and he gets beat 7-0. So, yeah, I'm pretty jealous of that, to be honest.
Someone here says, Terry, you call Goldbridge the GOAT. Now you have changed your tune. No, not at all. I 100% think Goldbridge is the GOAT of the football content community. But as I said, I watch him because I find it entertaining and fun. If I want insight, I will listen to, for instance, I'll listen to Jamie Carragher talk as an example. There are certain people I listen to for insight. If I want to listen to insight on football finance, I'll listen to Kieran Maguire or read the Swiss Ramble. If I want insight on the ownership side of things, I'll listen to Simon Jordan. If I want insight to what it's like to be a professional footballer, I'll listen to ex-professional footballers. When it comes to football fan content, like, there is insightful stuff. And of course, Goldbridge has said things where I go, oh, that's a really good point. But generally speaking, I watch Goldbridge because I find him fun and entertaining. That's not saying he isn't the GOAT of the content community. I stand by that, my friend. So, yeah, sorry if you misunderstood that, but that isn't what I meant in any way, shape, or form.